spectacular. And right now you can watch it streaming on Netflix. You can do pay-per-view anywhere of their channels, or you can go to Amazon Prime. And this week we're winning another award in Arizona. This will be our third, fourth, fifth, I don't know, award that we've got as the #1 inspirational movie of the year. So it's pretty cool how it's got legs, because it inspires people that everyone can be a hero. You don't need to be a millionaire, billionaire, or celebrity to make a difference. Everyone can give a pair of socks to a homeless person this weekend, or someone can go buy a jacket for somebody who's freezing, or someone can stop a bully from fighting. And we realize that everyone can make a positive impact, and then that could have a ripple effect across the globe.
It really is an amazing story. I know it was great being part of it because, I was at Greg's house a lot, as my mentor, right? So I'm always visiting him and stuff. And he would say, hey, look at this is, a scene that we just did. What do you think of it? And it was cool seeing the raw with no music, everything was raw. Like the mistakes were in there and stuff. And so it was really great to be part of something like that. So if you ever get a chance to be part of something like that, just do it. It's really incredible. So there's a question here. How do you deal with fear? Do you always feel it? Great question.
Yeah, I do. I feel fear all the time, but I embrace and go toward it. I never run from fear. Again, I live on the beach here in San Diego, California, and you can tell a new surfer from a senior surfer by one thing called the duck dive. So a big wave comes and a new surfer sees it, freaks out. They go, holy crap. They hold on the board. Boom, it hits them and pushes them down the bottom and breaks the board in half. A senior surfer does a duck dive. They see that big wave and they go right into the belly of the wave and pop back on the other side. They hardly even get wet. And I realized that the most successful people, they just duck dive towards their success. The big challenge right now is if everyone sat there and said, all right, this coming week, I'm going to take the biggest thing I've been putting off, that tough conversation with somebody, dealing with their taxes or their year-end accounting, whatever it is, right? Whatever that big scary wave is, and they said, I'm going to just go deal with it. You'll be shocked how amazing that it's not that big of a deal because we spend 90% of our time worrying about 10% of what really happens. And usually it's never that big of a deal once we confront it. Our mentor, mutual mentor that Linda and I have is Dave Corbin, and he wrote a book called Illuminate. It means that you accentuate the positive and you illuminate, you put a spotlight on the negative. You don't run from it. So again, if I got a first date and I knock on the door and I got a pimple, I'm going to say, all right, I got Mount Kilimanjaro here. Let's get this jokes out of the way. And now for the whole night, I don't have to hide it. I don't have to worry about it. I got it out. A few years ago, I had a book out, and I remember I had all these positive reviews, and there was one-star review, and it said, it sucks. So I called Dave. I go, what do I do? Everyone's going to know and see this. It's embarrassing. He goes, illuminate it. So I sent an email out to 35,000 people and said, hey, everyone, here's my new book. 185 people love it. One guy says, it sucks. What do you think? And I put the link, and guess what? It became a best that day because I put the spotlight. Everyone started sharing it. And then they jumped on that one guy and they ended up taking down the negative review. Isn't that funny?
It's really great because every time Dave mentions that, it reminds me of an event I held where I lost $70,000, and he's like, just illuminate the challenges that you had. Just share that with people because people really, it just seems that they really rally behind you because there were so many people that enjoyed the event and loved it. And those are the ones that came to my, came forward and said, it was amazing. Don't listen to all those people that are saying all these negative things about it. So awesome. Awesome. And so lastly, because I know that, well, first of all, Greg showed up early because he always does. So even on a Zoom call, he still shows up early. So I want to respect your time, Greg. I'd love for you to share with us, about Secret Knock, and because you mentioned it a little bit earlier, but how it got started, and I want to know what's going on with it during COVID because things have shifted drastically. Secret Knock is an in-person event normally, an absolutely incredible event, but I want you to share about it and how did you make the shift during COVID, and what do you think when is it going to be in person again? Do you have any idea?
No one has a crystal ball. And so I don't have that answer, but I will tell you, we're doing everything within our sphere of influence, our possibilities to make it come a reality. We're set for March for 2021. And what we're doing is we're looking at venues in Texas, Arizona, and California. Hopefully that one of them will open up again, that we can have our event. So we're doing everything that's humanly possible. But I will tell you this, we secured some speakers this time that are mind blowing and more importantly, completely different than we've ever had before. So it's going to be pretty exciting. I'm extraordinarily fired up for what's coming next. So I think the next evolution of Secret Knock will be beyond mind blowing. And it's going to have more access than we've ever had before, meaning you can have more time with these people that we're bringing in. And there's no VIP access. Everyone
Mm.
pays the same amounts, $3,000 to go. And once you're there, there's no name tags, there's no badges. You're just you. And it's your job to get up to go know and meet everybody. And what's going to happen is you're going to be able to have tacos and literally have a beer with the most amazing human beings on the planet, with no filter. It's going to be spectacular.
It really is an amazing event. Like the next speaker I have at the Women Action Takers networking events, is Ruben Gonzalez, 5 times Olympian, right? And I met him through Secret Knock, like, mentioned, Frank Shank was the creator of the Make-A-Wish, and then Brian Smith, the founder of UGG Boots, and like just all these people that I've met along the way. And, I've been inviting men to speak at this event. I've been doing this event for 2.5 years, all women, 100%. And somebody asked, well, like, why don't you ever invite some of those mentors that you have? I'm like, well, most of them, are men. And so I decided to start inviting the men because we can learn so much, and especially, these men that I'm inviting are extremely supportive, and not only supportive, but, they encourage us to step out there. They encourage us. They want to see us succeed and want to see us lead, So I really want to thank you so much, Greg. So as far as Secret Knock, if you are interested in attending, you just reach out to me. I have access to getting tickets for you and everything. So it is an incredible event. Again, he doesn't know when it's going to open up in person again, but what are you doing in the interim until it opens up in person?
Well, I believe it's going to open up in March. So I'm going with full expectations. We're going to pull this thing off. That's where I'm putting out to the universe, and I believe that we're going to be good to go. So that's number one. Door number two, I've been focusing a lot on publishing. A lot of people have stories they want to tell, and doing as many books that I have as an author, I can now become a great advocate to help somebody get their word out in a big way. And I'm talking like, on major titles. So for example, right now I've got 4 or 5 titles at Barnes and Noble on the bookshelves at any given time. The Success and Something Greater is at every airport in America. A lot of times, people want to learn directly from the source. And so we've been creating a platform where people can get real information from real people. During this situation, I had an idea. I got so tired of watching Instagram gurus tell you how to get rich who've never done it, or they tell you how to do this and haven't done it. So I went and bought the domain. I spent a fortune, called crediblesource.com. You should all go check it out. And basically I took all my connections, everyone in the Rolodex here, and I listed them where you can rent their brain and set up a one-on-one meeting with these people so you can talk about your own business or things of this nature. So if you can't go to a Secret Knock, or it's too far, or whatever story it is, you can go to crediblesource.com and you can actually hire them, for a consultation and literally change your life.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So the last thing, Mastermind Association. You created this Mastermind Association. First of all, I was one of the models in the movie, in the in the trainings, but the Mastermind Association, how'd you come up with that idea, and why a Mastermind Association?
Well, Napoleon Hill, he wrote a book, as we know, Think and Grow Rich. But by the way, this is pretty cool. This is the Napoleon Hill's actual these are all the articles that he used to write Think and Grow Rich. So he used to be a writer for Success Magazine. By the way, Success Magazine quoted me today, and their stuff. And what was interesting, though, is that these were all the articles he used to write it, but no one's ever read the articles. They just see the nugget from Think and Grow Rich. And, throughout the entire book, you always talk about success principles, what works. They say, do this and you'll get rich. Do this and you'll have prosperity in your life. But something that Napoleon never talked about was called the 3 causes of failure. He says, look, there's a million ways to get rich, but do these 3 things and you'll fail miserably in life. Here's what they are. 1, he says, the inability to get along with other people. You need people-pleasing personality, PMA, positive mental attitude. No one wants to do business with a jerk face, right? Door number 2, procrastination, putting off tomorrow what you could do today. And then last but not least, quitting before the miracle happens, giving up when you're 3 feet from gold. So everyone watching this, remember those 3 simple little techniques What we want to do is make sure we're not focusing on that and we're taking massive action, aligning ourselves with people that can open up the doors of opportunity, and having the courage and the fortitude to start reaching out to people that you have respect for, not people you have influence over.
Ooh, that is good. Awesome. Well, we're out of time, Greg. I want to, again, respect your time. Thank you so much for being here today. We had some questions that showed up and we were able to answer them all. So that's awesome. Is there any last words you want to say before you head out?
Just the final part of that mastermind is I realized when Napoleon Hill was talking about throughout the pages of Think and Grow Rich in his archives, the mastermind is the single most important thing we can do. It's like you're doing right now, except you guys are not yelling at me. I wish you were more and asking more questions. So the whole idea is that if you can, two brains together are stronger than one, and 4, 12, exponentially. So I also realized that people are charging a lot of money for these mastermind groups. And what there was is people go in your living room in a semicircle and then they just sell you shit all day. And that's not what a mastermind group is. That's a little mini seminar. A real mastermind group is where somebody, for example, Pamela, sits there and says, hey, my name is Pamela. I'm working on this project. Here's a challenge I'm going through. What should I do? And then us as a collective whole would go around and ask Pamela questions and go, well, have you done this? Have you done this? And ask clarifying questions. It's like walking into a doctor's office and say, hey, doc, give me pills. He's going to ask you a couple of questions first, right? Well, it's the same thing in business. And then as a mastermind, after she's told us our challenges, we got clarifying questions, then we can offer feedback and guidance for Pamela to follow. And then the next time she comes to our mastermind group, she begins with, my name's Pamela. Last time I was here, I told you I was working on this. I had a challenge. You suggested I should do this. I applied it. Here's my results. What should I do next? Imagine if we did that every single meeting, what our lives would be like. And that's what's missing. So the Mastermind Association is an online certification program that teaches you this system so you can run, host, and maintain your own mastermind groups in a way that's never been done before. It's so simple. It's like the Roberts Rules system of running and hosting a mastermind the right way.
Yeah. And I love it. I love the style that it's run. I run my masterminds the same way because, I learned from the best. I learned from those. The Millionaire Mentor, Greg Reid. Oh, okay. How'd you get that nickname?
What?
The nickname, the Millionaire Mentor.
Well, it's so funny. I mentor inner city gang kids here in San Diego and happen to be kind of successful. So as I drive up in a brand new car, the kids would say, hey, here comes my millionaire mentor. It kind of became a badge of honor. So I wrote a book, I think it's over here, called The Millionaire Mentor. And now a guy named Jason Stone uses the moniker. He's got millions of followers on Instagram using Millionaire Mentor. But what's really cool about this is the idea is that if we can impact the lives of one person, even a young child or your friend or your community leader or some, and yell encouraging words, it teaches them not only to do it, but then to teach others to do the same. And it's really interesting. The story is about a mentor-mentee relationship where a young man wants a bike and he sits there and says, I can't get it. I'm a kid. I have no job. I got no money. And he says, well, I know all you things you can't do, but what can you do? He says, I guess I could walk dogs or mow lawns or wash windows. And he says, isn't it amazing how we can come up with a solution once we have a reason why? The easiest way to hit a goal is to have a goal to hit. And in this book, this is what Success Magazine quoted today, by the way. This quote, if I can find it here, has been shared 37 million times. How freaking crazy is that? In fact, it's the weirdest thing that the prison of the United States prisons, they use it as their quote of the month last year. The real estate associations has used it. The copier associations have used it. You would believe that the big whatchamacallit, not Congress, but anyway, all the different places use it. This is it, and it says, a dream written down with a date becomes a goal. A goal broken down becomes a plan, and a plan backed by action makes our dreams come true. I'm going to say it again. A dream written down with a date becomes a goal. A goal broken down becomes a plan, and a plan backed by action makes your dreams come true. So we can think it, we can feel it, but ultimately we got to take action and we got to move forward and we got to do it.
Yeah, that's how my, women action takers came about because of that. Nothing happens without the action. Dream, hope, pray, manifest all you want. But if you don't take action when it's sitting there, then nothing's going to happen. And that's how, Greg Reid has had a huge influence in my life. So Greg, I want to thank you so much. And I know you're not into like all those accolades and stuff like that, but I got to say it. So thank you so much for being here today. We've got some great nuggets. You are Malika's Mr. Buckland, which I don't know who Mr. Buckland is, but you probably do. So awesome. Thank you, Greg, for being here. And hopefully that we'll see you all at Secret Knock in March. If you have any questions, you want to learn about it, just reach out to me and I definitely will share it. So it's Greg. Thanks. Have a great day and we'll see you really soon.
Bye all.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, wow. So is that great or what?
It was.
Yeah. So thank you all for being here. So we're going to move into the, hi, I see we have Thomas there. Hello, Thomas. We have our male in the group. Good to see you guys.
We just got off.
Good to see you.
We were guest speakers at another event. It was like, hurry up, everybody. We want to get to Greg Reid. And then he showed up early, I heard you say.
Yeah, he showed up actually at a quarter till. He's always early. He's always early. And so he showed up at a quarter till and I was like, oh, you're here. I guess we'll just start with you. So I decided to move into that. I just started interviewing him before anybody else was here because, everybody else started hopping on at 11. So, but it's available just for those of you who are not yet in the Facebook group, the Women Action Takers Network Facebook group. Please join us in there and you can watch the replay and it'll be in there forever. So you can always watch that replay. It is in there for sure. I forgot to hit record when I started. So I'm so glad I was streaming it live because I forgot to hit that stupid record button. But what I want to do next is we have a half hour left. And so I want to go around the room, have everybody have an opportunity to introduce themselves. Normally we start with that. But like I said, Greg was here so early. Normally the speaker will hop in about 11:25. And so I was like, okay, he mixed it up. So let's just mix it up. I just go with the flow. And so let's see what we have here. Linda, can you jot down Greg's success quote here? Yes. And actually that, just like he mentioned, that quote has been quoted so many times. It's what is it? A plan backed by action. It's been quoted so many times that if you Google it, you will find it there. It's all over the place. Okay, so a dream written down with a date becomes a goal. A goal broken down into steps becomes a plan. A plan backed by action makes your dreams come true. So I will, it's on Google. I just got that from Google there. Let's see. There's no way to put a picture in here, is there? So, but yes, so maybe somebody can type it up. Somebody can type it up. That would be awesome. Okay, let's see.
Post also.
Do what? What was that?
I said it'll be a cool post on in the Women Action Takers.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm going to put a link right here to the Women Action Takers Facebook group. So if you aren't in there yet, please join us. If I can type and talk at the same time. Okay, there. I put the link in there. Oh, awesome. Laura, thank you so much for putting the quote in there. Let's see. Will there be a recording? Yes, the recording is inside the Women Action Takers Network Facebook group, and it'll always be up there. But it's just such a treat because I met Greg. It was almost 6 years ago, and it's really interesting how sometimes somebody enters our life. Like there's this saying, right? People enter our lives for a season, a reason, or a lifetime. And when we meet the person, we don't know where they're going to fit in that. And Greg, at the beginning, I might have thought that I met him for a season. Like maybe the season was, going to a Secret Knock event, right? It was a 3-day event. So maybe that was my season, but it continued from there. He ended up becoming my mentor. I ended up meeting some amazing people because of his mentorship, but not only from what he taught me, but from the connections that he made for me. Literally, he will open up anytime I ask him, hey, do you have so-and-so's phone number? He just sends it to me. He never asks me what it's for. He never actually connects me with it. He puts the onus on me to actually reach out to that person and make an impression on that person so that they want to continue a talk with me, like he was mentioning earlier. And so it is interesting how, people will enter our lives for a season, a reason, or a lifetime, and we don't know what it is when we meet them. But as we go on with our lives and we continue to have these relationships that we're building and fostering these amazing relationships, eventually it'll reveal to ourselves like how this person fits into our life. But if we're closed to learning more about that person, or if we have an agenda, like say, for example, when I first met Greg, I didn't have an agenda. My agenda really was just to be surrounded by positive people. That's all I wanted. And I spent the next 4.5 years, every time I would go to a networking event, I had an agenda. And my agenda was today I'm going to meet one or two amazing people. That was my agenda. I just wanted to be surrounded by that. And it's interesting how just that one agenda there has turned into, what I'm doing today. And, some of the incredible people I've met. Like I would never have met the president of Mexico had I not taken the steps and the actions that Greg had recommended. He never told me you have to do this. He just said, here's what I would do. Here's what I think you should do. And then I would go do it, So it's interesting, like who do you have in your life that is doing something that you want to do, but they're doing it successfully. So there's a difference here. It's because we have people in our lives that are doing what we want to do, but are they doing it successfully? So like Greg said, he found a Sherpa who had, climbed Mount Kilimanjaro 900 times. That person was successful at climbing that mountain and coming back alive, right? So he would follow those footsteps. So everything you're doing in your life, who are you following? Are you following somebody who's kind of winging it? They're not really sure what they're doing yet, because maybe you don't know anybody in your sphere of influence that's successfully doing what you want to do. And that's okay. So you find out, how do I get to that person? So I give a great example. Instagram is actually a really great place to meet people that are influencers, because a lot of influencers are out there. And a lot of times they actually do read their messages. So if there's somebody you're interested in connecting with, reach out to them, and then reach out to them again, and then reach out to them again. Don't be worried about like, what are they going to think if I reach out to them so many times? You know what they're going to think? This person's persistent. This person really wants me. This person, because we're persistent, they want to connect with those types of people, because most people don't follow up. They say it takes 5 to 12 touches for us to really be seen. So if it takes 5 to 12, don't stop at 3. Don't stop at 1. Don't stop at 0. It really takes this diligence. So I'll share with you really quickly a secret of one of the ways that I am able to bring people into my, I'll talk like my sphere of influence, right? Like where I am, where I am in my life. So a great example, our speaker at the next Women Action Takers is Ruben Gonzalez. He's a 5 times Olympian in the luge. And he's going to come and he's going to tell his story. And I'm really excited because his story is incredible. He didn't start with the Olympics until he was much older. So it's not like he was a child prodigy and he got into the Olympics when he was, 10, 15, 20 years old. No, he was much older than that when he got started. And how did I get Ruben to speak at this event? Well, he has a group. I don't remember the name of it right now. I'd have to look, and he can invite you into that group if you're interested. But he has this group, and he invited me to be in that group because I was his Facebook friend, just a Facebook friend. And he invited me. I was like, oh, wow, Ruben Gonzalez is inviting me into his group. Maybe he knows who I am. He probably didn't, but I just like tell myself he knows who I am, right? And so in his group, I went, and I happened to be like number 136, that joined his group. So I scrolled to the very bottom of his Facebook page, and I went and I commented on every single post he made. Not only that, I commented on every single post that anybody else made. Not only that, I commented on every single person's comment. So it was like 3 days later, I just joined the group. 3 days later, I get a private message, Ruben Gonzalez. He goes like, hey, thanks for being in my group and being really active. He said, the hardest part is getting the interaction, the engagement inside of groups. So thank you for being part of that. By the way, you're number 2 on the contributors list right now. I really think you can make it to number 1. So I was like, challenge accepted, And so 2 days after that, he sent me a message. Congratulations, you made it. You're the top contributor. And I said, by the way, I have this women action takers group. I'd love to have you come speak. And he said, give me a call. So he put his phone number in there. So I picked up the phone. I didn't wait. I called him right that second. He put his number in there, picked up the phone. Hey, Ruben, it's Linda Sunshine West. You were just chatting on Facebook and, let's talk about my Women Action Takers group. And he's like, okay, let's get it figured out. And I said, are you available February? Because I'm trying to do it where I only bring the males in like every other time or something like that. I'm trying new things. And he's like, I'm not available, January or February or so. Actually, December is great for me. I was like, are you available December 19th? Oh yeah, I'm totally open that day. I can hop on and I can answer everybody's questions. I can stick around. I'm like, okay, let's do it. So, I locked him in. The point is here, it was action, 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 action. Now this is the first time when I joined his group. This is the first time I went in there with an intention. And my intention was not just about meeting amazing people, because I already knew I was going to do that in that group. I already knew that. My intention was to get Ruben to speak at this event. I was like, how can I make that happen? I'm going to see if this works. And it did. And it did. Really, in anybody who has a group, raise your hand if you have a group, or if you want to raise your little digital hand there, that's okay. Because I see a lot of people are not on video. Like I know Patty has a group. Lorna, you have a group. Like who has a group? And first of all, Malika, raised hand. Awesome. First of all, I would love for you to share a link to your group inside the chat here. That's the first thing. Also, when you go inside the Women Action Takers Network group under this video, please go in there and put a link to your group so that we have an opportunity to join your group. Only if you want to invite us. Only if you want to invite us. And then I'm curious. So Patty, I'm going to ask you. So with your group, how is engagement?
In my group, well, it's a little bit slow. And part of the reason is because I set it up so that I could remind folks to breathe. And I haven't been that active. And so I own that. I take responsibility for that. But when it was more active, it was on or off, because I think a lot of it has to do with leadership. Now, if I may share a little bit about you, Linda, I'd like to edify Linda.
Okay, I'll take it. Wait, hold on. Let me spotlight you. Hold on. Spotlight Patty. There we go.
This is good. Okay. So I am Patty Mays, holistic business life coach and spiritual guide CEO at Univ of Soul. And this is my partner, Thomas McGoldrick, and he is co-founder of Univ of Soul. Anyhow, Linda and I met about 5 years ago at an event, a networking event. And I was one of those people that she said, I'm going to go meet 2 important people. And so I'm going to take myself as one of those people because I'm still in her life, right? So Linda started this group, Women Action Takers, and I have been with her all along, and she has been consistently active. She takes action. She says she's going to do something, she does it. And so I've been following her all this time. And I wanted to talk about Linda for just a second, because everything Linda said, I just kept going, I know Greg Reid, Thomas and I have been to Secret Knock, and I know that Linda was instrumental in getting a lot of those speakers there. I know that she participated, she contributed so much to Secret Knock before the COVID, right? Which is really cool, Linda, I give you that. And the other thing is that in her group, Women Action Takers, she has enrolled, I don't know, you're probably at 1,000 by now, but it organically grew because Linda participates. When she joins a group, she, like she said, she comments, right? Well, I happen to be the winner this month, and you can only win once, I just found out. That because
1 month in a row. 1 month in a row.
Okay, consecutive month, right? Anyhow, I've been in this group, and I love what Linda has created here because she's got so much inspiration. She's on live all the time. She gives training and lessons on so many different topics. She learns the latest tool or training, and then she brings it to the group. And so I invite each of you to participate and be number one next month, because I mean, it was easy because all of you have so much to say. You have so much information, and so many women are hiding behind, the walls, um, but are wanting and needing help or needing guidance. And your message may be that they need at that time. So participate, be part of Linda's group. And thank you so much, Linda, for always having me. Oh, and also she's published so many books. I mean, so many means at least over 3. And she also has a couple of books that are coming up that you can be a contributing author. I'm a best-selling author because I participated in her book, Momentum. And Linda, you can take it away from here. I just wanted to say how much I appreciate you and how much I love you and how much I honor our friendship and this colleague, mentee mentor situation that we have.
Thank you, Patty. Thank you so much. And, it's what's interesting for me is that, several years ago, I wouldn't have been able to hear you say any of those nice things about me. So it's really through my my personal development of wanting to grow, wanting to become a different person, wanting to become a better person. And you mentioned something, Patty, I think that is really important too. A lot of things you mentioned, of course, important. Oh yes, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Patty. Happy birthday to you. Okay, just have a break.
Happy birthday, Patty.
Thank you, Desiree.
Happy birthday, Patty, Mama Bear.
Thank you.
I totally
Happy
forgot
birthday,
about
Mama
that.
Bear. We love you. Te quiero mucho.
Oh, Abigail, thank you so much. Te quiero también.
So, 2 years ago, or 3 years ago, I decided to sing happy birthday to all of my Facebook friends every single day. So I did that for 2 years straight, and I haven't done it in a couple of years. So every once in a while, I'll just like burst out in song like that. But something that you said that I think is really important is, if you're sitting there thinking, I don't really know how to participate in the groups or how to engage in the groups, or really like, what do I have to say that's really important, or whatever it might be. Just know that you have value and that there's somebody out there who needs to hear what you have to share. And I remember the exact moment in my life that I discovered that I have value. Now I'll share this. Like I grew up in a very abusive alcoholic household. I married somebody like my dad, my first husband, but my husband that I'm with now, we've been together 32 years. I met him when I was 25, and he's amazing, absolutely amazing. Always tells me how great I am, how smart I am, and all these great things about me. But I couldn't hear him because I was so locked in to all those negative things that I had heard for the first formative years of my life, the first 21 years of my life. So even though he says all these great things about me, I don't hear him, right? Until 51, when I met my life coach. And my life coach really is who helped me to kind of go down this path of what I'm doing now. And I remember it, I was 52 years old and I was sitting in a conference room, and it was a conference room they were doing, it was like a marketing training. Here's how you do marketing and all that stuff. I have my own business. I got to figure out how to be the marketer, be the salesperson, do the books. I got to figure out everything, right? Because I'm a solo entrepreneur. And there was something that happened in that moment that was like, wow. She asked a question, and I stood up to answer the question. And whatever my answer was, I don't remember what it was, because this is not what was important in this moment. What was important in this moment is what happened. I said my answer, I sat down, and I was shaking because never in my life had I spoken up in front of a group of people. And the 2 women sitting next to me said, "That was brilliant. Will you repeat it? I want to write it down." So I repeated it, and I stared at the chandelier. It was like a chandelier, up there. And I stared at it. And in my own mind, I said out loud in my own mind, right? I said, wow, I actually have value. From this moment forward, I will share my voice every opportunity I get. And the thing is that we all have value,
Mhm.
but sometimes we don't recognize our value. Maybe it's the people in our lives that are saying things that make us think, less of ourselves. But just know that you have tremendous value. And it's just a matter of getting that value out into the right people, those who believe in you, those who support you, those who uplift you, those who want to see you succeed. There's the difference there, I truly believe. Prior to that moment, when I had said things, I got shut down. I got told I was stupid. I got told I was ignorant. I was told people only like you because they feel sorry for you. Those were the things that were stuck in my head for so long, for so many years. So no matter how many times my husband, my current husband, tells me, you're so smart, they should have you doing this and that, because he's just always pumping me up. But those previous years were stuck. Like they wouldn't let anything he said penetrate. It was until that moment. And so from that moment forward, I literally have spoken up every opportunity I've had, because I believe that there's somebody listening that needs to hear what I have to say. It doesn't matter how many people, because if you can change one person's life through the ripple effect, you impact so many other lives beyond that. It's so incredible. So get yourself out there and share what you have to share. And so this all started when Patty mentioned the groups and stuff. Get out there and so I'll share with you, some of the tips of what I do when I go into groups and how I connect with so many people. Is today I'm going to go into one of the groups I love to go into, Women Helping Women Entrepreneurs. There's 430,000 members in there. So I say, today I'm going to go in that group and I'm going to spend 10 minutes, just 10 minutes. Do you have 10 minutes to spend to make a relationship? So I'll go in there and I'll look through and I'll say, oh, I really like this post. And I'll go ahead and comment on the post. And then I'll scroll through the post, because usually there's like 200 to 1,000 comments. I'll scroll through that post and I'll find some other people that have similar comments that I had, and I'll comment on their comment. Next thing you know, friend request. Next thing you know, they want to join my group. So this is one of the ways that I utilize other people's groups. I don't make any sales inside of groups. I don't ever do that. I want to create relationships, because I truly believe that it's the power of the relationship, that gets us what we want in life. Because, one of my things is to have as much fun as possible, hanging out with positive and uplifting people. If I can do that on a daily basis, I had a successful day. It's not about the money I make, it's about the relationships I have. So, that's one of the techniques that I use. There's a lot of different techniques I use, but that's one of the ones that's my favorite one, because I go in there intentionally. I'm going to spend 10 minutes doing this, and I will set my timer and I will do 10 minutes on that, and then just see what happens. See what happens through that. Oh my gosh, we're at 12:22. Okay, wait, say it again, Linda. There's something listening that needs to hear what I'm saying. Yes, definitely. There's somebody out there who needs to hear what you have to share. Now, Les Brown, you may have heard of Les Brown. I'll share a really quick story on that. I was, because of Greg Reid, I had this opportunity to connect with Les Brown. He was going to be a speaker at Secret Knock. And I was I was organizing the whole event. So I organized the speakers as well. So I reached out to Les Brown, about him speaking, and I was organizing everything. And then one day I was doing a Facebook Live. It was really funny, because I was doing this Facebook Live, and Les Brown called me to talk about his flight and stuff. So I'm doing this Facebook Live. Les Brown's name pops up. I go, I gotta go. Les Brown's calling me, So I hung up my Facebook Live and I answered that call with Les. And then we were having this, little bit of conversation. And he said, I got my flight locked on, is somebody gonna pick me up at the airport? Like, we're doing all the logistics, right? And then we got done with that. And he said, Linda, you are an amazing servant leader. When I'm in town, you make sure that you come and see me, because I'm going to teach you how to leverage my name. And I was like, okay, So it was kind of interesting. It was the day before the event, and I had a lot to do. Anybody who's put on events, there's a lot of work to do, especially the day before and the morning of. I had a lot to do, but I carved out a 3-hour period of time. I told all the volunteers, I said, I am not available from this time to this time. You guys just take care of whatever comes up. And so I went to see Les. And I sat there with him it ended up being 2 hours, and he taught me how to leverage his name. He listened to me. He listened, and he listened some more. He was so amazing. It's really incredible because, when you're in the presence of someone who has done so much and has impacted so many lives, how do they run their life? How do they conduct a meeting? I had never witnessed that before, right? So I had this opportunity. So what was really cool is after the end of the meeting, he said, does your phone have a recording type of thing on it? Like, he didn't even know what it was called. And I yeah. So he goes, turn it on. I'm going to give you your signature speech right now. So I turn on my phone and I started recording, and he gave me my signature speech. Now, what was interesting about it is it was absolutely awesome, of course, but it was Les Brown's voice, not Linda West's voice. So I've modified it since that time to fit me, because I didn't want to speak Les's language. I wanted to speak my own language, but utilizing Les's tutelage to do that. Then something else happened. At the end of that, he said, hey, tomorrow I want you to come by. I want you to bring your video crew. Like, my video crew is like one guy with a camera, right? I want you to bring your video crew, and we're going to do some testimonials. I'm going to give you some testimonials. And I was like, oh my gosh. So when I showed up, I just literally said, okay, we're going to do this, this, and this. And he goes, okay, gotcha. And he gave me my testimonials right then and there, right in the moment. So it's really those actions, right? I followed up. He said, do this, I did it. He said, do this, I did it. When we do that, when we follow our mentors, when we follow their lead, and we actually do what they recommend that we do, guess what? They want to do more with us. They want to give us more because they love seeing the results that are coming out of it. Like Greg mentioned, I have completely changed who I am because I've taken the actions that it takes to happen. When I interviewed stars on the red carpet, the first time I did that, I reached out. Greg said, just reach out to them and ask them if you can interview the stars on the red carpet. I was like, okay. So I sent an email, and within 2 minutes, I got a response back. Yes, you can. And so I was like, uh-oh, I'm going to be on this red carpet. I'm going to be with my cell phone, and everybody else is going to have, these big fancy cameras and stuff. And so I reached out to Greg and I said, hey, Greg, they said, yes, I can be on the red carpet. I'm so excited about it. But do you think they'll let me bring a videographer with me? And Greg was like, this is by text message. He goes, what do you mean? I said, do you think they'll let me bring a videographer with me? Next thing I know, Greg's calling me. Linda, what's your problem? He goes, they have 100-foot red carpet. They have stars that are going to be walking down this red carpet. They need that red carpet to be completely full of paparazzi. You're helping them. You're doing them a favor. Are you kidding me? Just tell them you're bringing your videographer. So I was like, dang, I just sent him an email, said, by the way, I'm bringing my videographer and his name is Alvin. Just like that. They're like, okay, cool. Thanks. We'll put him on the list. So sometimes we get ourselves worked up, so worked up about something when really it's nothing. And that's what Greg was trying to say. It really is nothing. We have to just take that action. Again, nothing happens without action, right? Don't let fear stop you from whatever it is that you want in this world. You have one chance at it. You only get one chance. What are you going to do about it? How are you going to spend your time? Do you have goals and dreams? Your dreams backed by action, right? That's how everything happens. You have to take action. So what are your dreams and goals? What steps are you taking today to get there? Who is somebody in your life, or maybe not in your life yet, that you can have in your life that is already doing successfully what you want to do? What steps do you need to take to reach out to that person? Are you what it was, like 6 degrees of separation of Kevin Bacon or something like that? Are you possibly 1 degree of separation from that person? Can you reach out to that person? When I had lunch with Jack Canfield, was that a fluke? Or was it me seeing an opportunity and seizing the opportunity? That's what it was. How often have you seen an opportunity in your life and didn't take any action on it, and then kicked yourself later and you're like, damn it, I should have. Like, don't should all over yourself. Like Greg loves to say that. Don't should all over yourself. But, it's like in life, we have one opportunity to make this life into what we want it to be. What do you want your life to be? What do you need to do to get there? So I'm going to say, first of all, it's 12:30. I like to respect our time. This networking event is officially over. Normally we would have gone around the room and done 30-second commercials, but I got so inspired to speak today. And so so thanks for being here. If you need to leave, go ahead and leave. If you want to stick around, please stick around. I'm going to still have this stream live into the Facebook group, and I would still like to go around and do the 30-second commercials, but just knowing that officially the event is over. If you need to leave, go ahead and leave. If you would like to leave, go ahead and leave. But in the meantime, I want to go around the room and just get to know everybody. I've got time. I always set aside a couple extra hours because, like, as Lorna knows, she's been over here for, we stuck around 2.5 hours one day. You don't have to do that, by the way, everybody. Just, leave when you need to leave. But, thank you so much for being here, being part of the Women Action Takers Network. It is all about action. Everything we do in life, we have an action, whether it's to not take action or to take action. It's an action. But to get the results, we have to actually take an action. So thank you, everybody. Officially ended. So awesome. Let's do this. I'd love to go around the room and have everybody introduce themselves. And since we're no longer on a time limit, instead of doing 30 seconds, what I'd love to do is give you a whole 10 extra seconds, 40 seconds to introduce yourselves. And what I would like to know is, who you are, what you do, but more importantly, how can we support you? After today's talk, here we are talking about taking action. Who's somebody that maybe you want to connect with? Or maybe it's not like a particular one person, but maybe it's a successful person who is doing this, whatever it is that you're looking for, somebody who's like, we actually know is successfully doing it, because there's a lot of smoke and mirrors out there right now. I don't know if it's always been this way, but there's a lot of smoke and mirrors out there, people doing things, but they're not really successful at them, but they're touting themselves as successful because they need to make a living. It's just part of the process, I believe, So who is it that you're looking for in your life that can help you out? And if you don't have anybody like that right now, that's fine. You can always reach out later. But I want to know, like, how can we support you? What is something that we can do to help you either today or to give you that action step that you can take to have that success that you're looking for in your life? And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start as I see you on my screen. And so did I see Lola was in here? Yeah, Lola, she popped in. Oh, there you are. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Okay. Lola's from Nigeria. And thank you, Lola. Awesome. Good to see you here today. I had no idea you were in there. I was like, I see Lola's name there. So I'm going to start off with Lola. We're going to start off with you. You got 40 seconds, girl. Introduce who you are, what you're all about. You get 40 seconds to do all this. Introduce who you are, what you're all about, and how can we support you? What are you looking for?
Hey, so my name is Lola Femi, and I'm a coach. What I do is I help people stop chasing clients and start attracting their dream clients using magnetic messaging. My simple step is, first, we're going to clarify your vision, and then we're going to create an offer that's truly magnetic so that it's well with your vision. And I'll show you how to communicate your value so clearly that the right people come to you. Today I'm just excited. Tomorrow is my son's first birthday, so I'm like reminiscing, getting ready for the party. Funny enough, Patty's birthday is December 5th. My son is December 6th. Can you imagine? And that's really just what I'm excited about. I'm so glad to meet all of you. Thank you so much, Linda. I loved your talk. It was the right thing for me at the moment. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And that's to my point right there, right? Sometimes when we share what we have to share, there's somebody that needs to hear what you have to say. Oh, that brought on the whole Les Brown thing. So Les Brown says, don't let what you want to say get in the way of what your audience needs to hear. Sometimes your audience is just one person. Sometimes your audience is like Les, 80,000 people at the Georgia Dome, and that's what I'm looking for, is those 80,000 people at the Georgia Dome. But sometimes it's just that one person. And if you don't share, if you don't speak, they're not going to hear it. They're going to miss out on that. And you might have been that, like when the student is ready, the teacher will appear thing. You might have been the teacher that was appearing for that person, but you missed that opportunity to share with them. So I really truly believe that, we need to share it as often as we can, because there's somebody out there who needs to hear what we have to share. So thanks, Lola, all the way from Nigeria. Whoop, whoop. Actually, Lola, I need to connect with you on something, because I think I have an amazing opportunity for you. Okay. So anyway, so next up is
No problem. You're awesome.
It'll be after your son's birthday. Okay. I know it's like a big deal, a 1-year-old birthday party, so. Okay, Wendy Marks, you're up. Oh, you're muted. There we go.
Oh, this has been so inspiring, Linda. I just want to grab your enthusiasm and energy. Yeah, it's really been great. And I'm excited because I just launched, and I'll put the URL, I just launched a new website. So I'd love people to check it out. And I am a newly minted reinvention coach and brand and personal branding expert, and help people, especially people over 50, get unstuck and move on to the next act to find more meaning, purpose, and success. And really passionate about helping people, especially people 50 plus, and would love you to check out my website. I'm also, as far as how you can support me, I'm looking to get more traffic to my website. I'm hiring somebody to do paid ads for me, and I'm looking for a good marketing coach. I've been talking to a few people. If anybody knows anybody, that would be super as well. And great to be here. And as I said, I'll put my website, the URL here, and would love you all to check it out.
Awesome. Well, thank you. And reinventing yourself. I saw Rosie was pointing at herself, reinventing yourself. It's, thing is, like, I didn't even start this journey until I was 51. So you're never too old to start, so start something new. It's really awesome to get out there. Now, Wendy, so you mentioned a marketing coach. Is there a particular, because marketing spans the gamut as to what type of marketing. So are you looking for a specific type of marketing coach?
I'm looking for somebody to help me drive more traffic to my website.
Okay.
And also I think for some reason, starting this new business, I had a PR business for years. Starting this new business, I've just been stuck myself. I'm teaching people how to get unstuck, but meanwhile, I'm stuck.
Right.
Oh, I need somebody to give me that proverbial push and get me going. Is what I'm looking for.
Okay, awesome. It's interesting because often what we teach is what we need, right? That's what they say.
Exactly.
Yeah. The cobbler's children has no shoes.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I could do this easily for somebody else, but I can't do it for myself.
Yeah. Well, we have to get out of the weeds, and it usually takes somebody on the outside to pull us out. So yeah, please put your links in, everybody, please put your links down there, to connect. And again, I want to direct you also, back into the Women Action Takers Network Facebook group. And I'll get the link to this video and I'll put it in the chat here. So you can easily go back over there and also put your links, because we want to make sure that you have an opportunity to share those links inside the group as well. So I'll get that in just a second. I got to go find it. Awesome. Thank you so much, Wendy, for being here. I met Wendy on LinkedIn. Many of you met. I met on LinkedIn. I'm kind of moving over to LinkedIn. I'm using Facebook more as like the what do you call it? The keeping the connections going that I've already made. but making new connections on LinkedIn and moving them, over to my Facebook group, because I'm trying to grow my Facebook group. We're approaching 1,000, which is exciting. When I first started with 2 people, because it was like me and Patty, I think, were probably the first 2. And then, from there it started to grow, and just, it's all been organic. I'm not interested in having, 10,000 people in a week. That's not my thing. I'm more about, creating those relationships and people coming over because they want to be there. So yeah, please, put your links down there, as well as, oh, Pamela had to leave. Oh, bummer. Should have had her up first. Okay. So anyway, put your links down there, and I will get the link to the Women Action Takers Network group as well. So Lorna, you're up.
Okay. Well, I thought I would read a 30-second. I'm going to read it because I've just recently written it, because I'm making a change too. And I'm actually 70 years old. So I hope that doesn't put anybody off from working with me. I'm 70 years old, but I'm really 60. We offer legal and identity theft protection through Legal Shield. My focus is small businesses with a plan to protect and grow that business. And that's the underscore I wanted. And actually, I'm reading the wrong one. So anyway, what I'm really doing, my new business, is about helping women, and my focus is women, grow their businesses more successfully by bringing them resources. One of those resources that I think is really important for every business to have is access to inexpensive access to legal services. And that's what I've been doing for 22 years. But I was a coach to begin with, so I'm going back and combining the two in my business. And what I would love is for anybody and everyone to like me on Facebook, because I am building a group, Linda. I just haven't gotten the pieces together yet. And so I need to have people on my Facebook so I can invite them, but I'll start promoting that as I come on this group more. But for anybody who's just a one-time person here. But I also think I'm going to bring a lot of resources. And one of them is Linda Sunshine West, because she's actually directly responsible for these changes.
Yay. I love to hear that. So, because sometimes we can be directly and sometimes indirectly, right?
Mhm.
Responsible for that.
Directly.
Well, congratulations, Lorna, for taking that step, to create the group, because really, Facebook, these algorithms, I don't know if you ladies have noticed, but especially Facebook has been the toughest. I think it really hit hard. I know people who have, 1 million followers on Facebook who were getting, in the tens of thousands of viewers on their live videos, who are now getting in the hundreds of viewers. So imagine you're going from, tens of thousands down to hundreds. What's happening to those of us who are getting less than 100 viewers? We're getting like 1 or 2 showing up, right? So it's really a challenge. The groups is one way, is one place that you can provide a ton of value. You can also, find out what everybody is doing. It's a place where, like for mine, it's Women Action Takers. So who am I looking for? I'm looking for women who are action takers. That's really what I'm looking for, because I want to be surrounded by action takers. I want to be surrounded by people who really want to make a positive impact on this planet. Women who, especially women, right? Who want to make a positive impact. So I create a group surrounded by what I want to attract.
Right.
Now, I didn't create the group to create business, but if business happens, awesome. I'm really excited about that. But that's not why I created it, because that's not really a way to get people into your group. So whatever group, like if you're going to create a group, or if you have a group, look at that group and see like what value am I providing to the people who are in the group? Really, because why am I going to show up at your group if it's all about you? It has to be about me. I'm going to show up your group because it's about me. So it's interesting, because I'm actually in this process right now of working with somebody on expanding their business, through a different platform, not Facebook or LinkedIn. It's a completely different platform. And they brought me in for the community engagement. And so, and it's cool because they're in the process of closing a deal with a group that has over 11,000 members that they're going to bring into this. So they brought me into like, how can we get our engagement up? How can we make sure that when they hop in, that they want to come back, right? That's always the challenge for any type of group. So you got to provide value to the people in the group. There has to be a reason for them to show up. What do they want? What do they want? Sometimes we think we know. We always know what they need,
Right.
but what they need doesn't matter. And Lola actually teaches about this. It's not about what people need. It's about what they want. I might need to lose weight, but do I want to take the steps to do it?
Mm-hmm.
Right? I might need to get in front of an audience of, 10 people a week in order to, this is kind of a low number. I may need to get in front of 100 people a week to grow my business, but do I want to do it? So what is it that they want? Always ask yourself, when you pick up the phone, when you send a text message, when you send an email, when you do a post on your LinkedIn, on your Facebook, when you do a live video, what do they want? What do they want? What do they want? What do they want? Because when you can deliver what they want, they'll show up.
Right.
Period. We don't usually show up for what we need. This morning I was talking to my husband. I'm whispering because he's in the house. Okay. I was talking to my husband and I said, I was talking about my weight because I'm not happy with my weight right now. I let myself go way out of control. And, if you're a person who's like a weight loss person, please don't reach out to me because that's the worst thing you can do because I know what I need, but am I willing to do it? Right. So I was talking to my husband about this and he said, well, you need to do this. And, by the way, he was the fitness director for the Marine Corps. So I have what I need at my household, but do I want it? So he was saying to me, okay, well, you need to do this and you need to do that. And I said, stop right there. I'm not going to hear a word you're saying right now because you're lecturing at me. And I said, you said, well, how can we make it so that I can help you then? I said, just start asking me questions like, Linda, what do you need to do? Don't tell me what I need to do, but ask me. And I said, well, here's what I need to do to get the result that I want. So anyway, I just thought I'd go on that, share that a little sight into my personal life there. So anyway, so Lorna, so when you're building that group, think about it. First of all, the title of your group. How am I going to attract people to it? People will go on Facebook to look for groups. What words are they typing to find a group that is what you're offering, right? What words are they typing so that they can find you without you having to go hunt down everybody? What words are they typing? So that's the very, very first thing. The title of your group is very important. I named mine that because mine is all about action, and I'm like, if people join it, they do. And if they don't, they don't. It didn't really matter to me. I just want to attract to me people who want to take action. So that's the first thing. And then next thing is, what kind of value are you providing inside of that group? Is this something they want or is this what they need? If it's what they need, you're not going to get much interaction. Mm-hmm. The best posts in my group are those when I'm asking you ladies, share your group, share your YouTube, share your Instagram, right? It's all about those are the most interaction that we get is because we come into groups because we want to be seen. We want to be heard. There's so much noise out there right now. So anyway, we could talk about that. I could talk about that all day long. Okay. And so I had a question here. Wendy, your website is amazing. Wendy, your website is amazing. There you go. I haven't had a chance to look at it yet. Lola put that. Awesome. Thanks, Lola, for looking at that. So next up is Tara. Welcome, welcome.
Hi, ladies.
She's like, does this lady ever stop talking?
No, it's okay. I'm Tara McCauley. I am a VA and I'm finding business balance. It's my new business. I'm just getting started. I just graduated, woohoo, from my school. And I'm building a team right now. And I am looking for business owners that run, preferably women, that are running med spas or regular spas, smaller businesses that are looking to add more and more employees and are feeling overwhelmed in that process. I'm also wanting to work with therapists and chiropractors in help developing training, developing protocols and things of that nature. I also am working on getting a team to help with the advertising and that aspect of running your business. So that's what I'm looking for. So if there's VAs that you know that do that kind of stuff, you can send them that way. And if you know any business owners that need help with their running their business, that are running a spa or a chiropractic office, I'm happy to help. And I also have ran a business myself as a massage therapist and a nutrition coach for the last 17 years. So I've got long background in that area.
Oh, that's awesome that you have that expertise in that area, right? Because you can bring that as value to your clients. So as far as the VAs that you're looking for, are you starting, is it going to be like a network that you have of VAs, or are you starting your company where you're going to have VAs under you? Like, what is the kind of like the structure look like?
I would be subcontracting. I'm looking for subcontractors to kind of build a team that do different things. I'm basically going to be doing project management and online business management. And then I'm looking for people that do email scheduling and that kind of thing. And then I'm looking also for people that are interested in doing like the social media aspect, like Facebook and Instagram and those kind of things. It's not, I know a little bit about it, but I don't know a lot about it. So I'm looking for people that are more experts in that area.
Awesome. So you're creating like a well-rounded one-stop shop for your clients, so to speak?
Yes, that's what I'm trying to do.
Okay, fantastic. And you just started recently?
I started my schooling back in May with the VA. I am in a VA expert program.
Okay.
And I just finished the program.
Congratulations. You know, I was a VA. I became a VA before VA was a word, before virtual assistant was a word. And it was very interesting because as I look back, I think, wow, if I had stuck with it, you know, I could have been doing all this stuff. And I find that to happen a lot in my life where I say, if I had, I would, you know, and it's interesting because I don't kick myself for it by any means, but I just look at how for me in my life, I've jumped around so much. You know, I had 49 jobs in the corporate world before I became an entrepreneur. And, you know, so I've had so much varied experiences that have, you know, gotten me to where I am today, of course. And I think, gosh, I could have been successful had I, you know, and it's really cool, but congratulations on doing that. And so Tara, you can post in some VA Facebook groups like Gold Digger Podcast Insiders. Never heard of that one. That's an awesome name. Everybody go join that one. Geez. Tara, I have Therapist Connection and also somebody in the same sphere for social media, both my daughters-in-law. So there you go. There's your connection right there. See, when we know what we're looking for, very specific in our ask, you know, that's when we can receive. What is that? Like there's a saying about like a GPS, right? You get in your car and you can't just say to your GPS, hey, take me somewhere downtown. You know, you have to tell it, I'm going to this exact address, and then you can get to where you're going. Sometimes you don't really make it to the right location because your GPS is a little bit off, but you know, most of the time it will get you to that right location because you're very specific about what you want. So yeah, congratulations on that. I'm so excited for you to see, you know, what comes out of it and the successes that you have. Congratulations.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it. And it's fun doing a new business too. So
yeah, and you already have the business experience, so you have that, you know, going for you as well. So congratulations. Yeah. Awesome. Rosie, you are up. Oh, you're muted. You're muted. There we go.
There. Hi, Linda, and thank you for this opportunity. I am a teacher, a substitute teacher. I've been working for a long time and I've been wanting to transition into being a coach, and I've been wanting to be a coach since 2006 when I started my training. But I keep going back to teaching. But then I also got myself into releasing, so I'm a practicing releaser, and that's what I do now. I actually do teaching and releasing and continue learning about myself.
Can you share what release, what do you mean? You say I'm a releaser. Can you share what that
Yes.
means?
Yes.
Thank you.
And releasing is helping people to go beyond that state where they find themselves. For example, Wendy, I can help Wendy get into a different state where she feels not stuck. So I can help her get unstuck. And I can actually do it right now. And it only takes like less than 5 minutes. So if you want to try it, Wendy, I can offer you my service right now. And it's free of charge. No.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Sure.
And I'll be in touch.
Okay, great.
So what I'd like to offer, thanks for sharing that, Rosie. What I'd like to offer is, first of all, if you ladies would, like Wendy, because it's up to Wendy, if you would like to take Rosie up on that offer right this moment, I can actually send you guys to a private breakout room where nobody can see or hear you. So if you want to do that, Wendy, you can private message me to say yes or no. But I just wanted to offer that out there, that is a possibility. So awesome. So how can we help you though, Rosie? What are you looking for?
I was listening to Lola when she was saying I can help you create
Magnetic.
Yes, instead of you reaching out for clients, have the clients reach out for you, and also offer them a package that's good. Because I work with people, I coached people, but it's just like a one-time deal, and I have been paid with for the services, but it's not what I would love to be able to have.
Yeah, Lola, I definitely connect with Lola, because she'll turn your whole world around.
So I don't have a business, and I guess that's where my support is, like wanting to begin my business as a coach.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I would definitely reach out to Lola.
Thank you.
Lola, you have something? No?
Hi.
There.
Yeah, I wanted to say something. You have a business. If you have a service or a product and someone has paid you, money has exchanged hands, well, you have a business.
Okay.
Own it, girl.
Yes, I guess so.
Yeah, I got a business.
I got a business. I have a business.
Yeah. Yeah, so definitely connect with Lola, because she can help you, with any of that. And anybody who's looking for ways to better have your message be heard the way you really want it to be heard. But then not only that, have it be heard in a way where people are like, this is how Lola teaches you, is by the time they get to you, they're already ready to buy.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
what
So
I want.
yeah, because the sales process is where a lot of people get messed up, is like
Yes.
by making the offer, or just saying, hey, I've got this thing, are you interested, that kind of thing. That's where a lot of people get messed up. They don't ever make an offer. The first time I did a webinar, I did this amazing webinar, and talking about videos, like doing live videos, giving all these tips and tricks about live videos. And I asked a couple of my friends, like 4 of my friends, like, will you guys just show up and then critique me so I can learn from it? And they showed up. They were the only ones who showed up, so it was kind of funny, but they showed up. I gave my webinar. I was so proud of myself. And at the end, they were like, that was amazing. But first of all, you gave us everything, so we don't need to hire you. Second of all, you didn't even invite us to work with you. So it was basically, I just gave a free class. I gave a free workshop is what I did, so it's learning how to make the ask. And so that's one thing that's really important, is if we don't, if we provide all this value and we're not inviting them to work with us, why would they say, oh, well, how, a lot of times people will say, how can I work with you? But it's all depending on our languaging. So this is what Lola teaches, is that by the time they get to you, they're already saying, I want to work with you. How do we make it happen? And that's what I love about, Lola, and she's helped me tremendously. I still have a ways to go because it's my own mindset stuff, that gets in the way. But, Lola has just totally changed the way I think before I write. And so it's been awesome. So yeah, definitely, Rosie, reach out to Lola for sure.
Mhm.
Thank you so much. Well, welcome.
Thank
welcome.
you.
Business owner, you. Laura, are you available?
I am. Can you see me?
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes.
Oh, hey. Hi. I really liked your talk. Thank you so much. I think it's what my soul kind of needed. So, yeah. So my name is Laura. I am an accountant by trade. I have had my own business for 3 years, and I'm in the process of birthing a new business. Is that it's coming. It's my little baby. And it was stuck on me for such a long time. But I love health and fitness. I've actually competed on bodybuilding shows. And one of the things that I see people asking me, especially working women, is how do I, how do I look or influence the way I look, or how can I be more healthy, or yeah, so that. And then my message is, it starts with loving your body. So that is my core message: love your body. And with that energy, you go forward. There's nothing helpful about looking in the mirror and critiquing yourself. And ladies, we all have this person in ourselves. This demon inside, I don't want to call it demon, lovely demon inside of us that kind of like, you look whatever. And the thing that I want to bring you is, I have competed and been in the best shape of my life, and she doesn't go away. No matter how many diets I've tried, or anything I've done, I realize that it's not the way I look, it's the way I think. That starts, and then is the way I make actions. So that is my message. And the way you guys can support me is pushing me for action, which is the whole reason why I'm here. I love this. I love this energy. And, it feels so good to finally admit that I have a business on this thing. So yeah.
Welcome to entrepreneurship, right?
Yeah, exactly. And like something that connects with kind of your, like, I don't know how to say it, but your soul, or like your servicing woman. It's very empowering. So yeah, that is my little intro.
Awesome. Welcome. I competed in a weightlifting competitions, back in the day when I was about 20, I think it was 28 or so. And you're right. I mean, just like I walked around with an amount of confidence it was just different. It was a different feel. And that's what I'm looking for right here. I'm 57, approaching 58, right? And I'm like, I want that back, but I know I'll never have it back the same, because I'll never be that same person I was back then. The difference is that now, like moving into that mindset, because my husband and I started working on it today, right? We started today.
Awesome.
Yeah. So it feels good because it's like the partnership that I needed, because I didn't ask him before, because I always felt like he was lecturing at me. Right. So today I opened the door to a different conversation with him. And the thing is that now that I'm older, smarter, wiser, I'm more confident. I'm more confident up here than I ever was before in my life. And I'm on a different path, and I'm more positive, and all these different things are going to play into that. So I'm excited to see, what the results are from all the hard work I'm about to embark on.
Yeah. And it's like, okay, so I'm 30. And I think it's part of the whole, why do men, the older they get, the sexier they get, but women is the other way around. And it's the whole culture. And I'm like, no. We have to embrace this. Like age is just a number. and we have to, sorry, my dog is insane, sorry. It's like patting the door, but we have to, you know, it changes with ourselves, not the culture. Yeah, the culture around us is telling us that, but if we don't realize it, and we keep telling that, you know, my better years, like I could say, oh, when I was 20 and I didn't know any better. No, you know, it's just different.
Yeah, it really
So-
is. It's in the mind. I love how you said that, because it's really in the mind. Like Lorna said, you know, she's 70. I mean, she's like you said a 60-70. I would say more like a 20-70, because you have just a really youthful, you know, it's really about, you know, what comes out of our mouth, right? In our mind, in our heart, and making that soul connection. It really is. It's not about what we look like. I totally agree. But thanks everyone. Oh, Wendy, thank you, Wendy, for showing up. Awesome.
I am taking so long, but yeah. And eventually I started, because I've been on this journey, I actually enrolled into a master's of exercise science because I wanted to know the science behind it. And my approach is, yes, love your body, but crazy diets don't work. So let's make this scientific. So
you can even use Garfield, you know, the cat. He says diet is die with a T.
Yes, exactly. And it's not so, yeah, exactly. So that's kind of how I married both, and how I embraced myself and my journey, where I want to serve women like me who are in a journey of working, not 20 somethings. I want to serve my population, which is 25s to above. So
can I offer just a word of advice for you for future networking events? This is what you're doing, and this is where you want to move into. Just drop the accounting part.
It's something I've been dealing with, because I feel like this business has been on my mind for so long, and I'm finally kind of saying, no, this is what I want to do. And it's coming out of my mouth, but then my mind is like, oh my God, you're supposed to be a CPA.
Oh, gotcha. Well, what you can do is you can start with, you know, the passion for what you're doing. And then as you know, from this many years as a CPA, one thing I recognize is a lot of CPAs don't take care of themselves, you know, so then you're like, then you can, like, it's introducing your authority in like 2 seconds.
Okay.
Because if you start with that, I'm hearing CPA, and then I'm moving into something else, right? So just to share that is like, a lot of times people will come out, I do this and I do that and I do this and I do that. And then I don't even know what you do because you told me so many things. Right. So,
okay. I like that.
Yeah.
Thank
So
you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So I'm not sure if that'll help with,
No.
But yeah, the next time you come to the networking event, just go into that one and let's hear it, you know?
This is the first time that it's kind of coming out of my mouth. So it's
I'm glad
all
it
messy. Yeah, so it's all messy. So this is good. Good pointers. Thank you.
It's good. Thank you. Well, thanks for being here. Let's see. I'm going to, first of all, I want to know in the chat, Malika, Lady Powerhouse, which I can't remember who that is. That's Angelic and Desiree. Let me know if you're able to come on screen. Just do that in the chat. But in the meantime, Veronica, you're up. You're not on your boat today. Looks like you're in an actual like room. Veronica lives on her boat. So
yes, so I'm actually babysitting 3 grandchildren for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Ooh.
So while you were talking, I was making pizza, which they're going to decorate as soon as we're off. I was taking action, baby. So
Awesome.
I want to, because Linda, you were talking about taking action and what you were doing in a group.
Oops, you're muted.
I got a huge tip from a coach this week, and she allowed me to share it. But it's looking at your goals totally differently. And so when you're making your goals, and I work with e-commerce people, and we're all about the money, baby. It's all about the money. So when you're looking at your goals, when you're looking at your goals and you establish your goals, you pull your goals into 90 days. if you can accomplish your yearly goals in 90 days, they're too small.
Mm.
Then you pull those 90 days into 30 days. If you can accomplish those goals in 30 days, they're too small. So then you have to start again. And then obviously you go to a week and you go to your daily things on how to take action. So I thought I'd just contribute with that.
Thank you.
And so I'm normally on a boat, but I'm Veronica Jeans, and I am an e-commerce mentor and coach. And so I mentor e-commerce entrepreneurs to become e-commerce executives. And it's a different mindset of earning more money, more successfully and profitably. So what am I looking for? I would like to speak to more groups. I find that I'm right now I have a couple of appearances for Pro Advisor Group for talking about accountants for QuickBooks Online. So any of those groups, they have clients and they're always looking for answers. So I love to interact with those groups because that's where I can get my referrals from. So if you guys have any ideas, that's what I need. Anything, you know, like BNI, any small business group or larger group, there are always groups where there's somebody in the group that has that business where they actually want to sell something and they don't really know how to do that. So yes, that's
awesome. I love it. I love it. Have you tried LinkedIn?
Oh, I love LinkedIn. So I'm getting my people who are all e-commerce, trying to get them on LinkedIn. And, you know, it's like kicking and screaming, but we'll get them there because my whole philosophy is people on LinkedIn hopefully have a job, they have money, and they want to spend their money. So if you are a coach, you should be on LinkedIn. If you're an e-commerce business, you should be on LinkedIn. You should be selling your information, right? So yeah, I love LinkedIn.
Awesome. And as Lola says, you could be creating your own group, Twitter and e-commerce Facebook groups.
Oh yeah, I've got groups. Believe me, I've got groups coming out of the wazoo because I've got courses and I've got books, and I'm launching my printed version of my How to Start Your Online Store book, Shopify Made Easy, on Amazon, best-selling author. Hello. And and I'm about to launch volume 3 and volume 4, so I'm very excited. And course, I mean, you know, if you've been in this business, create a course, sell it.
Yep, create it, sell it, create it, sell it, create it,
right?
Or sell
right?
it,
and it doesn't have,
and then create it. Sell it, then create it.
Yeah. So it doesn't have to be perfect, right? It doesn't have to be perfect. Just have the idea, create the landing page, get them in there, and say it starts in 2 weeks, and create it. Because let me tell you, we are amazing action takers when we have stuff to do, right? GDS.
Yes, get shit done.
Stuff.
Oh, get shit done. That used to be the name of my mastermind, GSD, get shit done.
yeah, I've got grandkids around, so I can't really say the S word.
But I don't. Well, awesome. Let's see, there was something you said. So it was about the 90 days, 30 days and stuff. And so Desiree was wondering if you could post that inside of the Facebook
the
Women Action Takers Network group. Awesome.
I will do that.
I see a lot of money and people. Fantastic. Well, thank you, Veronica. I love it. I've interviewed Veronica on my show about e-commerce. So if you guys, I'd have to go find it. Maybe you have access to it, Veronica. I don't know, but it's a really great, great information that she gives on that interview. So check it out.
Actually, I've got one of the ladies here in this group, Mary, with the bag. I'm working with her to try and get her bag out there. And it's very exciting. And by the way, Lorna, I used to help somebody sell that legal program. It is freaking amazing.
We need to talk.
For the amount of money that you have to pay to get legal advice, fabulous. Everybody, if you're in business, you should have legal advice and you should join that program, really and truly. Yeah.
There you go. There you go. Testimonial, testimonial. And you got a testimonial. Mary said Veronica has helped her so much. Yeah. So Mary created this, invented a bag for like a travel bag. And so now she just recently finalized everything, got it all together, and she's ready to sell it. So she reached out to Veronica to help her to sell her bag.
Yeah.
And then Desiree, who's up next, Desiree, do you have your travel mug?
It's upstairs. I've kind of been running around with my son and making breakfast and doing all these different things. So it's upstairs, but I'll bring it next time for sure.
Okay. Well, wait.
Oh, okay.
Go run up and get it while I go to Malika.
All right. I'll be right back.
You should never make a presentation without that mug.
That's true.
I know, right?
Never. Okay, Malika, you're up.
Hey, that was great. I ran out and got food for the kids and ran to the grocery store. I was on my second.
Still here.
that other Malika was me. I had to put my mask on and go to get.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I was about to type in the chat that I'll go last, but I just kept going and you were going. So yeah, that worked out fantastically. So my name is Malika Simmons, and I'm an executive coach for servant leading driven women. So I created a framework for living called the Momentology Method. And it is literally the study and in practice with emphasis on the practice on operating in the moment, succeeding with what you have right now in this moment, leveraging all the goodness that you forgot about. So one of the super cool things about today is I literally was coaching someone before this whole thing started, and I was giving her the 3 feet from gold story, right? So I thought that was hilarious. Two things came up today. One, I was telling her the story, which I use all the time, by the way. But one, I was telling her that story. And then two, one of the strategies we were working on was getting her to get into rooms where people are doing successfully what she wants to do. And that's what Greg says. So that just really made me happy when I jumped on. And second, for him to bring up John Hope Bryant and for me to literally have a story tied to John Hope Bryant and meeting him, and because I took action, I got to meet him and other folks. So I just feel super aligned. I don't know if there's like 111s or 1111s. I don't know what's going on today, but it seems really, really good. And Veronica, we might need to like record you saying what you said, because I'm also a Legal Shield ambassador and I work with Lorna. So that's awesome. So I don't need anything today, because I got this was all kinds of wonderful. Like I got everything I needed today. I did put my information, my group in the chat, and I also put my LinkedIn, because I have been growing on LinkedIn too. Veronica, to your point, I'm on several panels. I did a health equity, a women's equity panel last week. And so I've just been trying to be more visible and, do my Linda Sunshine West best in terms of showing up. And so I almost didn't even come on this call today. And I happened to, because I knew I had to take the kids out. And I was like, and I just kind of peeked at Linda's site and I saw that Greg was going to be on. And I'm a super fan of Greg Reid. So I was like, oh, holy crap, you guys you're going to have to start for like 20 more minutes. And so I jumped on. So I'm super happy to be here with you all as usual, but that's me and that's my spiel. And I'll put my information in the chat.
That's awesome. I love how you created Momentology, because I remember the first time you mentioned that, which I think was probably about a year ago or so that we chatted that interview. And the Momentology, I just love that idea, like in the moment, right? It's like being in the moment. And there was one of these meetings that we held, and you were wearing your jacket, and I think it was your in the moment jacket or something like that.
So purple is my favorite color. It's like my feel very zen and like in the moment thing. And so every time I don't feel like doing something, I put on that jacket. And so if you see me ever in these Facebook streets and see my purple jacket, that's because I was convincing myself to show up for myself and I needed it. So, and also because I love purple, but yeah, that purple jacket is my go-to, get your stuff done, get your GSD jacket. That's my GSD jacket.
GSD jacket, I love it. Mine is just like a sweatshirt, just a sweatshirt. Actually, I have this one jacket that I have that I got it. I was with this group called Team in Training, and we've raised money for Leukemia and Lymphoma Society by running marathons and stuff. And I I was the biggest fundraiser in that season. And so I got this jacket, it says champion on it. And so when I put that thing on, I feel like we are the champions, my friend, like that. And then every once in a while, my husband wears it. And then people are like, wow, that's so awesome. How'd you become a champion? He's like, it's my wife's.
And so it's really important, right? Those things that give us a little bit of confidence, that give us a boost, we might think is not a big deal. Like I'll get on a live and put on a pair of earrings, or as Lorna put in the chat, right? My purple lipstick, like whatever the thing is that like gets you going, even if it's something small. I put on perfume to do a live. Y'all can't smell this perfume, but it smells good to me and it makes me feel good. It makes me feel like I'm ready to go. Let's get it done. So if you need something, I don't care if it's earrings, I don't care if it's a talisman, if it's a candle, whatever it is that you need to kind of give yourself that extraness, nobody has to see it but you, right? You can post it, put it on next to your little, camera or what have you. But every little piece that we have that gives us confidence, that gives us composure, like use everything in the trick bag. And so I'm big on leveraging. And so for as a matter of fact, for Legal Shield, and this will be the last thing I say, for Legal Shield, I decided my network was going to be called Strong Will. So it's Strong, WILL, for women in leverage leadership, because I believe that you can leverage all the pieces of you to be leaders. So this is just a super awesome, energetic day. So, and I promise you, I only had 1 cup of coffee today. So.
There's something you said, what do you call it? Extraness.
I do. I have the extraness today.
Extraness. I don't know if that's a word, but it is
now. It is today. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah, awesome. So the I don't know if you say Angelique. It's the Lady Powerhouse. She's in the house. I'm not sure. Are you able to speak now? If no, I'm gonna. Oh yes. Okay, unmuted. Yes.
I'm here. I'm just not camera worthy. And I'm not just being
I'm sure
vain.
you are.
I'm like literally still in bed. I just, it's been a rough week and I needed a day of self-care. So I've been in bed.
Let's get you on camera, because I want people to see they can even show up if they're in bed. No, I'm just kidding.
So and you caught me grabbing a snack. So I am Angelique Beesman, Lady Powerhouse Solutions, and Tara and I didn't even know Tara was going to be on this call, and I think that is so cool. Tara and I were in the same training program. I went through it a year ago and launched my own business. I'm kind of like one of those serial side hustlers, and I've been side hustling my entire adult career. And I finally just decided to go full time with it. And once I put that out in the universe, I told myself I'm going to quit my corporate job by the end of 2019. They fired me before that, which allowed me to start early on severance. So that was nice. So, you know how the universe will conspire with you, right? Mm-hmm. So that's what ended up happening. So anyway, I do project and event management, and I think you are my new freaking hero. And like, who do you want to be like? Who do you want to connect with? I want to connect with you. And we actually just connected on LinkedIn. So
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was pretty cool. But my niche is project management, event management, and that project is defined fairly loosely, right? Because projects can mean a lot of different things. My niche, my target market is basically women on fire, women entrepreneurs. But to niche it down a little bit more, you have to have a mission. Like, I'm really mission oriented. And so whatever it is you're passionate about, if we can align on that and we can sync up, there's no stopping us. So that's kind of my spiel.
That's awesome. I love that. Well, we're already connecting because I know we're talking this week sometime. So I think it's this week. Yeah. So we'll definitely connect there. And, there's a lot of events out there, even though we're virtual now, there's still a lot of events out there and people need that management. So congratulations for getting laid off or getting let go with severance. That's even
right. And then what I need clients, but I also need team members. I have a team, but I'm still building. And so as far as what I need, I forgot to mention that.
Okay.
So I'm looking both for just, clients, connections, networking, and if anyone else is looking to subcontract, because basically what I'm doing, Tara is also doing. I'm just doing it in a different area.
Okay. Okay, awesome. I know you mentioned about the Secret Knock. I'll reach out to you about that. Secret Knock is a place that I don't know that I've seen any VAs show up to Secret Knock, and there are a lot of people there that could use a VA. So that might be a great, like, what do you call it, breeding ground, for a VA business, because I was just thinking about this, like that came into my head, that I don't know if any VAs have really shown up for that, and why, I don't know. So, but I'll talk to you about Secret Knock and see if that's how that might be a fit for you. Okay. Because I know you've mentioned that. Yeah. Lady Powerhouse, I have some ideas for you. Please connect with me. And that is Lorna. Desiree, what events are coming up that you ladies can recommend? So if you have any events that you guys can recommend, go ahead and put those in the chat as well. And then, so thank you. Welcome. Glad to have you here. And I will reach out to you.
Thanks.
And then Desiree, okay, do you have your travel?
Yes.
It should be in your pocket at all times.
Hi, everybody. It's been great to be with you this morning. And a lot of you, I've seen you on here several times because Linda brings amazing women together, amazing people together. So I am the inventor of the Expand-A-Bag, and I'm pretty sure that's what the name I'm going to stick with. It's an expandable water bottle holder. Let me turn my screen. Let's see. How am I going to do that though? On the phone? Oh, here we go. So I'm not on my computer. So here it is. And I'm going to have to put down my phone so I can unzip it. It expands actually double the size. It can be used for water bottles or wine bottles because it actually has a middle baffle that keeps the bottles from kind of clanging together. So I am looking for connections to other female inventors. I'm already connected to a few of them. So I would love if anybody has any new contacts for me. I'm sure, I can let you know if I'm already connected to the ones you recommend. I'm also looking to license this bag. It has lots of pockets for your phone, for your keys, membership card, everything you need for the gym or a concert in the park. And I'm also looking, as I said, to license the bag. So I'm looking to, let me flip back around. I am looking to make those connections as well. So that's me. And my daytime job, I'm a school teacher. So I'm very busy. I'm teaching remotely right now. I teach pre-K kids and have been doing that for 21 years.
I can't imagine them being in front of a camera all day, those kids.
Oh my gosh, they eat it up. They love attention.
Oh,
they love it. And their parents are right there as well. So if they're feeling shy or, if they just need a little encouragement, their parents are right there. So, and then I'm pretty silly on camera with them. So I kind of drag it out of them.
That's awesome.
But I would love to connect with you ladies. I'm Desi DeSeos on Instagram and on Facebook. I'm on Facebook as well. And I'm on LinkedIn. And Linda, you mentioned that you've been connecting with people more on LinkedIn. What has been working for you? I'm just curious on that.
Well, I had my strategies are kind of weird, I think. But so there's different schools of thought. One of those schools of thought is that having a lot of numbers are just vanity numbers, right? Then other school of thought is that having a lot of numbers means at least somebody will see your stuff. Mm-hmm. So on Facebook, I go by the premise of having a lot of numbers is vanity numbers, but on LinkedIn, I'm using the other strategy because on LinkedIn, you can have unlimited connections. So I set myself on a goal to make over 10,000 connections by the end of this year. That was my first goal. I had no other goal. That was it. Like it wasn't about making any connections, but was about just getting those numbers up. So I literally just went in and sent out connection requests randomly to just women because that's my target audience and that's who I want to connect with is women. And so I just literally did that. And then I hit my 10,000 number by October 1st.
That's
So
awesome.
I hit it way ahead of,
Yay.
because I had no idea. I just like set a goal. I do this all the time. I set goals. Sometimes I hit them, sometimes I don't. Well, this one I hit really early, October 1st. And then I said, okay, I hit the 10,000 mark. From now on, I'm going to go in, I'm going to invite people to this event, because I was like, how can I go ahead and provide some sort of value without having to go through this? How's your life? How's the weather? How's your family? Like, I didn't want to go through that. I have goals, right? So my goals are to connect with as many amazing people who want to be part of this. So I started just doing invites to invite them to these events. So a lot of the times, a lot of the women you'll see showing up here are women I just recently met on LinkedIn. I send them an invite and they either say yes or no. So when they say yes and they click on the link, what happens is I have a landing page. They hit the landing page, they go into my email. So there's this whole campaign that's going on behind the scenes as well. But really, it's like, what, because I was, again, trying to think like, what can I send out that will be something for them to look at and provide value to them? It's always what's in it for them, always what's in it for them. It's not what's in it for me. And oftentimes people will be, hey, I saw that we, like, one of the most common messages I get is something like, I see that we have, this person in common. Let's connect. I'm like, well, I'm thinking to myself, well, what's in it for me? Why do I want to connect with someone just because we have the same connection? So here, I'll share with you the message that I just sent. This is a message that I sent to probably about 300 women on LinkedIn this week. And that was like, I hope the holidays are treating you well. It's definitely going to be different than previous years, right? So I'm asking a question. Maybe they'll respond to my question. But I started with that. I hope the holidays are treating you well, right? And then I said, if you're interested in being surrounded by positive and uplifting women entrepreneurs just like you, who are making a positive impact on the planet, and you're available this Saturday, come join my Women Action Takers networking meeting. The women are awesome, and you're sure to leave with some amazing connections. Again, I was trying to think of like, how can I come up with something that's something for them? Mm-hmm. So that's really the key, because we're as humans, while we want to make connections with people, we want to make amazing connections with people, we still are always looking at ourselves. What's in it for me? What's in it for me? So as much as maybe we don't want to believe that, it's true. Like, let me see, I have this event. I had 3 events at 9:00 this morning. I had to choose, but how am I going to choose? I'm going to choose based on the one that I think is the most valuable for my time in that moment. Right. So that's why when people show up to my event, I'm so grateful that they're here, of course, because that means they chose this event over something else that they could be doing. It could be baking cookies with the grandkids, right? It could be, or let's attend the meeting and make the cookies. But so it's really about what kind of value are we providing to people? So with LinkedIn, just set some goals and go for it, And this one woman was like, I can't believe you have a man speaking at your event. Here was I'm using the tone of voice that I'm thinking she used, I can't, because it was a written message. You're using, bringing a man when you should be empowering women. And sorry to send you this message, but you sent me an unsolicited request like that. And I was like, thanks for your feed forward. I've been doing this event for 2.5 years with only women. And I decided to ask the women who show up, what do you guys think about me bringing in men, my mentors? And it was like 100% of the women were like, yeah, please. Yeah. So what did I do? I gave what the women wanted, not what a stranger who doesn't even know what this is all about wants. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Plus she's a speaker. Now, if she had approached me differently, I looked at her resume. I was like, well, this is an awesome woman. But I decided I don't want that energy in my group. So if she had approached it differently, I would have invited her to speak. To me, I don't care who you are. I don't care who you are. If you have a bad attitude, I don't want to be around you. It doesn't matter to me who you are, what you've done, all your accolades. You got a bad attitude, I don't want to be around you, period.
two comments. One is that I work in human-centered design, and we're always talking about empathy-based stuff and how you actually should be talking to your customer. So we have this video in my company called Satisfy the Cat. And so Satisfy the Cat basically means that your cat is the person that you're solutioning for, right? In this instance, right? The cat's the person you're solutioning for, but the cat has an owner. The cat doesn't buy cat food, the owner does, right? And so if you make your cat food based on what the owner wants, you're going to be giving them caviar and like Merlot? No, you need to do cat food stuff, right? And so just when you just said that about how you asked the women in the group what they actually wanted. So asking people who are on the fringe or peripherally connected or all of that doesn't matter. It's what do the people who will be the actual consumers of your thing, the thing that you have, what do they want? And again, when you were talking about Lola, she always talks about what do they want, not what they need, but what do they want? And also what do they specifically want, right? Not somebody that's not their husbands, not their, other people, but them. So I love that you said that. And that's right. I was just thinking as you were using your phone, one thing that you might think about doing for like 15, 18 bucks, you can get that little thing that goes over where you can hold your phone. You should be, to the tripod and just make a couple videos with you talking over it just like that, and showing how it opens and showing what you do with it, and then intersperse those with maybe some stills of you actually carrying it, of you actually using it, of anybody. Like if you think about the guy that did the water gun, like he was a NASA person and he figured it out in his bathtub, right? And he started literally from the bottom. Although he was a NASA scientist or whatever he was not in the toy game. So that was a whole jump for him. So he had to start from the bottom and get kids to use it and show people. So hearing it is one thing, but like Linda said, make sure you show the bag. So not only show the bag, but show you using the bag and show other people using the bag. I think over time, people keep seeing it. You might be that bag lady, but that might be a good thing. You be that bag lady all the way to the bank, right? So I would maybe consider showing it more. And then the last thing I'll say is, Linda, I was on a speaking.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I was on a speaking engagement and I started it off with I like a Malika, just so everybody knows, because I said that to Linda and she's like, you should start with that. So everybody start saying your name right in the beginning. So I've done like the last two, I did 2 podcasts and another speaking engagement. And I started off with, I like a Malika. So
that's awesome. And do they laugh?
Yeah, they do. They always do. Like I said, I do it at work and I never think about doing it for my business. And every conference call I'm on at work, because nobody ever knows how to say my name, I always say I like a Malika. So now I say it.
I love it. Awesome. Yeah. And if I can, Desiree, I want to plus what Malika said there is that, getting a selfie stand, like this one is a tripod. I'll give you a link to this one. It's a great one. It's called Young 10. I think it cost me $13. This is the best. Now I've had a lot of selfie stands because, I've done over 4,000 live videos. So I've tested a lot of different products. This one, hands down, I saw this one. Actually, I was at an event. It was some amazing event at on a yacht. And I was up in like on the top, just kind of like staring out as we were on the, like on a bay. And there was this woman down at the bottom of the ship there. And she was using this selfie stand, not this exact one, but I bought one, but she was using this selfie stand to do her selfie videos. And she was like, oh my gosh, wildly sexy, like this amazing woman wearing a bikini. And she was doing all these, pictures and stuff of herself. And I walked, beelined it right down there. I got to find out what selfie stand she's using, And so I just introduced myself and it's like, what are you using there? And she showed me this thing and it's really incredible. So what I would recommend is definitely, especially if you're going to attend these events like this, is to set up your selfie stand. When it's your turn, put your phone in it, get it into the exact position. We don't care about your face. I want to see your product. I just want to see your product. And I want you to show me you putting the bottles into it. I want you to show me expanding it. Take advantage of your 40-second commercial. They call it commercial or 30-second commercial for a reason. You have an opportunity to sell yourself, but in your instance, it is a product. So just show us like how this bag can help me. Why do I care about this bag? So really I'd love to see you doing that, Desiree. If you want help with that, let me know, because I can really help you with, at least, getting through some of that aspect of it, like, getting it so it looks good on the camera so that we can see exactly what you're talking about. Every time it disappears, from the camera, it's like an opportunity lost. Every time, like, laying it down on a table, it's just too hard for me to grasp. Like, I can see it, but how do I use it? I want to know why I should buy your product. That's what I want to know. Why should I buy your product? Right now, I mean, it looks cool. I think it's awesome. The Expand-A-Bag, which is a great name. I don't remember who came up with that name for you, but it was during one of these mastermind. Was it your own? Use your own. I love it. I mean, it's awesome. I remember when you came up with it, the bag lady. I'd go with the bag lady. That I think is already taken, actually. There's a woman out there who does sponsorships for people, and she got known as the bag lady. And so she actually bought that domain. So, were you going to go with that one, Desiree?
Do a little twist on it. And I think the fact that you're a kindergarten teacher is also something. It's about being memorable and then making your product memorable and connecting the two. Because otherwise people just look at it and go, well, I think I've seen something like that on Amazon. Let me go and look. But they want to support you. I mean, at this point in the game.
That's a good point, because you think about, if you think about that from that perspective, you could have different, what do you call it? Different target audiences, right? So like maybe one of your target audiences pre-K, mothers with pre-K kids. And so what are they carrying around? They're carrying around a juice box, they're carrying around this and that, right? Their cell phone. So like, how would a pre-K mom utilize my bag? And then you can go out there and you can show, this is how you use this bag. How does the woman who has, 2 bottles of wine, how does she use this bag? So it's really like these different personas with a product. Really, there's so many different personas that product can take on. And so, but you can't bring up the pre-K mom with the wine guzzling single woman, because it's a completely different persona. But yeah, so there's a lot to that. The Expand-A-Bag. I love the name. I remember the first time you mentioned it, I was like,
that. Yeah, that was last mastermind. When you asked us to write down our thoughts and kind of what we were going to say, and I just wrote it down. I didn't even think about it. I just wrote it down. So I guess the universe, it was already in me, and I just had to actually put it on paper.
Yeah. And then how do you feel about it? What do you think about it?
Yes, I like it. My kids, not so much, but
they're not buying it.
They're not buying it. But remember, I want to license this though. So I'm taking a different approach in the sense of, I'm not really marketing it, doing videos, but I want to reach out to companies so they can, manufacture it and they can do those videos. What I want to do is my ultimate goal is actually to brand myself, kind of like Diane. So she has her product, but she basically is branding herself. And then I want to have my products underneath my name, kind of like Joy Magano. Same kind of concept. So when a customer goes to my site, they're going to see me, my information, and then my products will be linked, and I can have, other links for them or whatever. But that's my ultimate goal, because I have other product ideas also. So kind of like Ron Klein was saying, I'm more of an innovator. It's not that this I don't want to be my baby, even though it is. I feel very attached to it. Like someone else said here earlier today, is you get very attached to your ideas, and you get very attached to the dreams you have for whether it's a product or a business. But I really want to brand myself.
Yeah, I think that's important. So I have a question related to licensing, because like I've heard the term thrown here and there, and I don't really understand how that, like when you license it, what happens to it from your perspective? Like, does it still stay as one of your products, or what does that mean?
Yes. So as I've mentioned in past meetings that we've had, I already have filed the patent on it. So once I get the patent on it, then I have that IPO protection, and I'm basically kind of renting it out to a company. so that they can go ahead and put their logo on it. They can go ahead and make it polka dot if they want. They can go ahead and do whatever it is they want, but within certain limits, because in the contract that I will sign with them, it's not going to be, oh, you can have my bag for 2 years and do whatever you want with it. It's going to be specific. Like, you're not allowed to, to do certain things with it. So there's an exclusive agreement and then there's an inexclusive agreement.
Okay.
So I'm searching for the inexclusive agreement so that I can go ahead, if I want to license it to multiple companies, I can.
Right. Have you talked to any of the big stores? Have you had any inroads into some of the big
I reached out recently to Yeti. Basically, they make coolers, they make bags. I'm not sure, it sounds like most of you are familiar with that company. And I got a response, basically, don't reach out to us unless you want us to take that idea and run with it, basically.
Yeah.
So I haven't reached out to them since. I've kind of been quiet about it right now because I'm waiting to hear about the patent office even receiving my application due to COVID. I filed it in August and I haven't heard one word yet as to whether or not they've even received the application. So matter of fact, today, one of my things I'm going to take action on is to reach out to my patent attorney and see, if he can get any sort of answer as to, have they actually received the application.
Right. And the reason I asked is because my husband has 3 patents. We've been doing this for years.
Oh, please, let's talk then, please.
Years and years. He doesn't have a licensed product though, but I just mean we've been through the whole thing, right? And I actually, in my other life, for pharmaceutical sales, I used to work with some of that stuff. So the reason I asked you about going to the big stores is because a lot of times some of these bigger companies, that's exactly what they buy you, kind of what they say, buy you off the street. So they get you and then they shelve it because it's theirs and they can do whatever they want and it doesn't see the light of day, right? And there's a decision process that you have to make around whether or not you want to have 100% of zero is zero, right? So are you willing to break off a bigger piece of that, or do you like, oh, I have to have, because a lot of inventors, like, it's their baby, it's their thing, and they're like, I have to have $1 million, or I want $500,000 from this. And I love what Greg said when he was like, talk to that guy Fred, and Fred was like, hey, I sold it for $75,000. And while those of us who know how big it became might think that, oh, you got taken, he was like, no, it solved my problems that I had at the time. So like you will have to make those decisions along the way. I know the guy who actually created what is now FiOS. And so we were working with him before it became like, he sold the technology for, I want to say not even $1 million or whatever, couple $1 million, right? It's obviously a multi-billion-dollar thing. It was the optic technology, right? But he was able to pay his employees. He started a new company. So sometimes you have to make those sorts of decisions along the way. So I definitely, and we talked, I think we like tagged up a couple of times, but because, it comes back to us, we start thinking about other things. I will definitely reach out to you again because I may have some ideas for you, just because it is please. Brutal trying to figure out all of these parts and pieces. And like I said, it's been a few years. My husband, I've worked with him all through this patent. So if I can offer any, even if it was just something that you were thinking about and maybe you just need someone to verbalize it with, I'm happy to do that.
I am so excited to do that with you. Let's please connect.
Okay.
I really would like that.
Awesome.
Awesome. Angelique, thank you for showing up. It looks like you might be heading out. Yeah, thank you so much for being here. So what I'm going to recommend, Malika, because what you said there is I'll reach out to you, is I would recommend saying, Desiree, reach out to me because you have something she wants.
Thank you for the wording there. Good point.
Yeah. So, yeah. So
I think we're already connected on Facebook too, Malika.
Yeah. So, because she wants something from you, right?
Yes.
Like, you know what I mean? It's like just that perspective is like that person wants something from me, so they have to take the action to connect with me. And so, yeah, definitely want to do that. So changing the language really makes a difference. And like Greg
That's
said,
important, Linda.
Make them show up at 10:10, with like he used to say, I would make him show up with a drawing of a coyote or something like that. And so some would actually show up at time without a drawing of a coyote. And so he would say, whatever, you're not. You didn't
read directions.
Didn't read the directions, right? You don't follow the rules. And
And
so,
sometimes, thank you. No, I appreciate that's a great, because how we are interacting, like not just in this room and today, this is how we talk and interact other places too. One of the things that Greg said, and it just struck me, the first contract I ever got by myself on my own was because some guy came to I was in a night class. The guy came to the night class and he was talking, and I was just like, I can't believe this guy's keeping me up. It was 7 to 10, most of us are falling asleep, and he kept us up. And I was like, I was just enthralled. And so he said during his talk, come up, reach out to me, right? So it's at the end of the class, a lot of people just grabbed their bags and went. So I went up to him and like, hey, I'm so glad you came to talk to us today. Da, da, da. And he was a president of some company. And he said, here's my card. Give me a call sometime. So I took his card and I called him. I took his card and I called him and I said, hey, you came to my class to talk about so-and-so. And he's like, yeah, tell me about you. And he asked me to send him my resume and everything. So he called me into the office. I thought I was going into an interview. I get to his office and I'm ready. And, I'm like, okay, I don't know what I'm going to say, but I don't want this job. I show up and he sent me to HR, and I'll go to HR and I'm like, I don't have to interview. And they're like, what's the name of your company? And I was like, wait, what? So I got my first personal services contract where I was a 1099. I had no idea. I thought I had to come up in my head how much an hour. So I'm sure they got me for really cheap, right? Because I just came up with a number. But he said, you showed up. He said, number one, you came up at the end of the class. Number two, I told you to call me and you called me. And so I got my first contract, and it was one of the best things I've ever done because I literally showed up and I took the action that he told me to take. He was like, you're here, so you must want to work. So that was awesome.
yeah.
And Linda, you mentioned that throughout the call, which is persistence. If you really want to meet someone or do something, be persistent at it. Don't nag them constantly, but be persistent, every 3 months, every 6 months, every whatever schedule you have that you want to plan for yourself, do it, actually do it. I want to meet Oprah, and I wrote it down on my phone that I would meet her within 10 years, but I'm hoping it's less than that. So
you can't hope. You can't hope. And what did Veronica say?
They have the intention and moving forward. And one of our favorites, Linda, Les Brown, my favorite story is the radio station where he's like, I kept coming back. He's like, you have a job for me? And he's just like, didn't I tell you that you didn't have, I thought somebody got fired. I didn't know. So
Right. It reminds me of classes in college. I don't know if any of you have ever experienced that, where you needed a class and then you look and the class is closed, it's filled, and then you have a decision to make. And there were several times at San Diego State that I seriously camped out on the instructor's floor. I need this class. And you stay there day after day after day, and you'll sit on the floor, whatever you have to do. And never failed. I always got the class I needed because persistence.
But you have to remember that that's in you, because once we get older in life, we forget the system we used to be.
That is so, yes, that is so true. Yes, to keep it in the forefront of our mind. Yes.
Linda, you get 10 gold stars for this afternoon.
Oh, thank you. Well, hopefully we'll get 5 Olympic medals next time.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. I'm excited about that talk.
Well, I want to share just really quickly, because Malika, you mentioned the story that, there was this event. I've done a lot of volunteer work, and that's, how sometimes you'll get into areas that you don't expect to, because you do volunteer work. And so I was doing a volunteer at Social Media Marketing World a year and a half ago here in San Diego. And when I volunteered, I signed up, and normally the first time volunteers don't get to be speaker volunteers, but I got lucky, and somehow I got into that position. That was the one I applied for, and I got it. And so I was a speaker liaison, and one of the speakers was John Lee Dumas, and he's done, I don't even know how many podcast episodes he's done, but he used to do them every single day for a long time. And so he was one of the speakers, and he was at their speaking, and he was one of my speakers because they had hundreds of speakers. And at the end of his talk, I'm wearing my volunteer outfit. I had already walked him onto the stage, right? And so when he was done, I walked up there onto the stage where he was, and I said, John, I'm doing a podcast, and I was wondering if I could interview you for the podcast. And he said, I always say yes to people who ask me in person, but if somebody asks me electronically, I say no. So because you're asking me in person, yes. And it really, it's about like, as I knew what I wanted. You know, I had a goal. Like when I was the speaker liaison, I had a goal to line up at least 5 of those speakers to interview them. And that's what happened. I ended up interviewing 10 of them. But you know, you have these goals, and what are you willing to do to make that? Do you have fear around it? So what? Do it anyway. You know, because I was scared to ask him, but I just thought I'll just ask him. And he said yes. He gave me his number and I interviewed him. And it was a really, really great interview. But, you know, really putting ourselves out there. What is it that we want? What results do we want to get? Sometimes what we want, like those interviews, they haven't yielded me any dollars, but they've yielded me a lot of confidence, and they've yielded me, like Les Brown said, leverage, right? So I get an opportunity to leverage that person in a, you know, however it is that I need to leverage them for what I'm working on. And that leverage will last forever, because anytime, I just had somebody reach out to me the other day, they were like, I didn't know you knew Les Brown. You know, like this stuff is out there. I don't show it all the time, but it's out there, and people will find it when they start looking, you know, for who you are, what you're all about. And it's not about, like, I mentioned those names only because I happen to, you know, have those people have opportunities that I saw and I seized, and, you know, took myself up on them. But it doesn't matter if they're famous or not. It's like, what are you doing to put yourself out there? Because it's time for you to get seen and get heard. Time for you to be the famous, time to be the one like, wow, you know, Linda Sunshine West. That's what, where I'm moving into, like, wow, you know her.
Exactly. You know, the good thing about the names is because it shows you that anybody can do it, right? So it's not that you're saying only these people, because yes, those are people, you know, Jack Canfield and those other people, but you're you, and you had to get there somehow, right? And so when you say, well, I met, just like those people at the lunch, they're like, oh, how did you get a lunch with Jack Canfield? Now, not knowing that you literally snatched him up.
I literally.
And took him to lunch, but you took control of the opportunity window that you had, and you only have what's in your, you know, what's in your control. So I love that. And I love that you tell the stories about you don't tell stories and say, oh, I know this person or I know that person, right? Because it's not about the knowing, it's about the work that you did, the actions that you took to get to that person. It's all leverage, right? And Les Brown will say he'll be the first one to say that the conversations that we have are all leverage. And I love how you said he told you, like, I'm going to show you how to leverage my name. That was awesome.
Yeah.
That was awesome. Like, it's the communication and the connections we have are all about leverage. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I didn't even know anything about leveraging somebody's name until he mentioned that, right? So now he taught me first of all that you can even do that, and then he taught me how to do that. Not only his name, he was teaching me how to leverage.
Yes, and
leverage,
it's not
period.
about just dropping. And that's why people, when you first hear it, it sounds icky, right? Because name dropping, just to be saying a bunch of people's names who you have. But when you leverage, you're showing other people how you have made an impact on this person of substance, who they think of as substance. Or there's a guy named Christopher Kai, who has a book, the Billionaire Networking. Phenomenal. That's his whole thing, is leveraging. He can meet somebody for 20 seconds, 20 seconds, and he'll have a story around how he did it. He's used meeting people, very famous, millionaire people, whatever, to leverage other opportunities for himself.
It's really about, it's learning how to not be scared to share it, I think, really, because for me, it was like you said, it can seem icky, or you can feel icky, or you're like, because it's not about, like you said, it's not about name dropping. It's about how I got there, because it's how I got there that shows that you can get there too. And like when I interviewed Wesley Snipes, on the red carpet. I'm like, wow, that was really cool. I was at this event interviewing different people, but Wesley Snipes was the star of the show. And so I was like, I'm going to interview Wesley Snipes. I was so excited. And then when he walked right on past me, I was like, nuh-uh, I am here to interview Wesley Snipes. But everybody was there to interview Wesley Snipes. So he walked right on past me, about, like 3 or 4 people past me. And I had my sights on him, and I looked at my video guy. I was like, Alvin, we are interviewing Wesley Snipes, just like that. And so I just waited, and let's say this was the other guy interviewing him. I was staring at the guy interviewing him and at Wesley. I was staring at all of their body language. I was listening to every single word they were saying. And what I was listening for was the end of the conversation. I was looking for in body language the movement that he was going to turn and go, keep going, right? That's what I was listening, and I was so intent on it. So what happened is, as they made that very last word, that split second, I did it again. I touched his elbow. Like I used to say, I grabbed him. I didn't really grab him. I just touched his elbow, and I just touched him, barely touching him. I said, Mr. Snipes, it's my turn. And he came on over and he goes, okay. He didn't care who's interviewing him. We're all just people out there doing our thing. But I had this mission. What was funny about it is I'm 5'3", and there's this guy next to me that I've seen him at other events interviewing and stuff. He's really pushy, and he's about 6'5", the other guy. And he was like, don't worry, I'll get him over here. I was like, no, I'll get him over here. Like that. And I just ignored him, but I brought him over. I interviewed him, and that guy didn't get an opportunity to interview him because when I was done, his bodyguard took him down to the next people. But, it's like, I knew exactly what I wanted. I was there for that interview. And again, like you said, it's not about who it is. It's just about knowing what you want and taking the actions that you need to take to get it. And so it's like, what are we doing? What are we doing? What do you want? If you don't know what you want, the universe isn't going to give you it because it doesn't know what you want. So I was perfectly in line because the other guy that was next to me was on the wrong side. If he was on my right-hand side, he would have grabbed him. Yeah. But he was on my left-hand side, not close enough. So I was able to actually bring him over.
But you are also future pacing to what you wanted to be. Into this, you wanted this story in your head before you're here telling us you wanted this story to be. And I got the interview with Wesley Snipes, and so if you could visualize you talking to him, you ever see Sherlock Holmes with the newer one with what is his name? The one who plays Iron Man.
Oh yeah.
Robert Downey
Jr.
Yeah, you ever see him in Sherlock Holmes?
I think I did.
I like Robert Downey anyway, but in Sherlock Holmes, he has this thing that he does every time he's about to get into a fight. He narrates out the fight ahead of time, and he knows every move he's going to make and every move the other person, the opponent, is going to make. So it's like he's playing chess in his head. And so in the movie, they play it like slow motion, like he's thinking it and seeing it. And then they show the fight scene, and everything happens exactly the way he imagined it in his head. And so it's kind of a weird thing, but that sticks with me because I just think about it in terms of future pacing, in terms of seeing exactly what it is that you want and how you want it to turn out. And then, like you said, the universe and all of that other stuff aligning, but it's not going to align if you don't move. So you have to move, but first be very intentional. And that intention is that specificity that's tied to, I want this certain thing to happen. And that's exactly, you're like, okay, I'm gonna watch when, as soon as they finish that conversation, I'm gonna move in, and that's what it takes. And we have all had situations where we could have operated that way and we chose not to. So it is a choice that we just oh, well, he's probably just going to keep walking. Or when he first walked past you, you could have said, oh, well, I missed my chance.
Yeah. And I spent many, many years doing exactly that, right? Thinking that, oh, I should have, this didn't happen the way I thought it would. I spent so many years doing that, and I decided that I'm not going to do that anymore. And so it really changes everything when we put that into that perspective. When I had, Randy Jones, of American Idol, it was funny. He was a speaker. It was a different red carpet event. And my friend who was running the event, she said, hey, Now, I didn't have access to Randy Jackson that night because he was in a different room. But so she came up to me and she said, hey, I'm going to assign you to interview Randy. And there's one specific question I need you to ask him. And I was like, okay, I have one job, and that's to make sure I ask him this one question, So I did the whole thing. And there was something it was mentioning about dog and something. And I was like, I don't even know what she's talking about. I didn't even know about that's his whole thing about saying dog and stuff like that. But it was a really great interview because, I asked him about his personal life. And a lot of times, they get tired of answering the same questions. When I asked him about his kids, totally lit up. And it's like he couldn't stop talking, So it's just, I know, I love doing those interviews, and it's fun for me, and I want my life to be fun, you know?
Exactly. I love that. I absolutely love that.
I'm living in the moment, momentology.
All
On
right.
that note, what is it? 2:00. Woo, I'm going to go eat some lunch.
Okay, well, I have enjoyed this immensely. I'm so happy that all of the things aligned in the way they needed to, that I found myself on this on this call, like on my phone, on the computer. I was running around. But that is momentology. It really is. I recognized I needed to be there. I had to figure out how I was going to make it happen. So I was showing up in 2 places, but that's okay.
There you go. See, you made it happen.
I did. I made it happen. This is awesome. All right.
Thank you so much. I'll look at the chat later. I know there were some questions in there. Oh, Desiree, you had a LinkedIn question, but I think all your questions were answered, right?
Yes. Yes.
Awesome. Awesome.
Have a good one.
I'll get you a link to that selfie stand.
Yeah, please.
Oh, a lot of people wanted that link too, Linda.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
oh, I see that. Okay.
Lorna asked for it too. So.
Oh, cool. Thank you. Yeah, I'll go through that chat and look at it. Okay. Awesome. Thank you guys. Have an amazing day. We'll see you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
See you in 2 weeks. Bye.
Bye-bye.